おはようございます。おはようではなく、もうお昼なんですし、まあ、ルナのところなんですね。はい。So anyway, before further ado, give me one moment. Okay, let's begin. So without further ado, let's talk about the recent event about President Trump with relation with Arab. It's so great actually. Try to take a look at this. There are so many news, and there are also like news. I think yesterday actually. I think yesterday night, like President Trump went flying over to Arab, right, on the Air Force One. There's actually a score being sent out by Arab in respect for President Trump. This is a great friendship, and it's definitely something really good. So, what's this actually? I don't know. Now, but hear me out. Trump is fated to be in Middle East from is scheduled to be in Middle East from Tuesday 13 to Friday of 16, visiting Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. What are the chances he makes a quick flight to Turkey while Putin and Zelensky are there? Well, we'll know. We'll know soon enough. So basically, in terms with Arab, there's really a lot of good news like this. Take a look at this. Holy, there's a good they are really escorting the plane. Like, oops, it's a bit too loud. It's a bit too loud. See, they are escorting the plane. Welcome, Mr. Trump, to the Arabian Gulf. Wow. These are the respect. I salute you. Well, basically, this is the escort plane, and it escort the Air Force One, which is President Trump, while flying over to Arab. Man, look at this. There's so many of the news. Like arrived in the first Arab country to meet. Wait, who is this actually? Yemen? No. You know, there's something about fair trade that is not called milking. You can gaslight it however you want, like a dumb app as like whoever you are, but you're not getting anywhere. See, these are fakes, paid. These are paid, like completely paid. It's being basically paid with money or something. I don't know whose money is that, but anyway, it's definitely the Trump's money thought. So yeah, that's about it. See, and ceremony with President Trump and King Salman in Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Ouch. Man, the video quality is actually quite bad. I think someone recorded it with whatever. I'm not sure what. And it's pretty damn long as well. Wow, they're celebrating it en masse. Oh, bad video. President Trump have all the guards as well. Well respected. Holy, who is recording this? Today our American summit Saudi. Oh dear. By President Trump and King Salman in Saudi Arabia.
A very full day.
Let's see what he has to say.
Has well, ladies.
Alright, let's listen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we saw, President Donald Trump has gotten to the Murabba Palace at King Abdulaziz Historic Center alongside the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz. It has been a very full day, with starting off at 7 in the morning with the Saudi-US CEO forum. It went on from 7 until 12:30 in the afternoon. Second was the briefing with His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Al Isa at the Riyadh Marriott Hotel from 10 until 11. That was all before President Donald Trump's arrival to King Khalid International Airport. As we see currently, the custodian of the two holy mosques and President Donald Trump are having a tour of King Abdulaziz Historic Center. With this, also in the morning at the Royal Court, there was the official arrival ceremony for state lunch and the official talks.
Wow, that's a nice celebration, I suppose. Let's see. Yeah, everyone is celebrating it. And his wife is with him. King Salman and US President visit King Abdul Aziz Historical Center. Well, it's definitely a great news, right? Great things to look into. Great. And all the bodyguards, welcome. Great performance and such. Well, if you guys is actually interested in it, right, make sure you go through it yourself. The moment US President Donald Trump announced the lifting of sanctions on Syria, thank you to the Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, for the UAE, and the rest of Arab countries. So, is this called milking? It's not milking anymore. Now let us see.
وسوف آمر بإيقاف العقوبات ضد سوريا لأعطيهم فرصة رائعة. وسوف آمر بإيقاف العقوبات وسوف آمر بإيقاف العقوبات ضد سوريا لأعطيهم فرصة رائعة. وسوف آمر بإيقاف العقوبات.
Well, anyway, if you are able to listen to it carefully, right? Yes, sanctions have been lifted. This, at least that's what he says, though. So it's a great news. Let's see if we can hear
None
anything.
stronger and now
Yes.
we have great partners in the world, but we have none stronger and now nobody like the gentleman that's right before me. He's your greatest representative. And if I didn't like him, I'd get out of here so fast. You know that, don't you? He knows me well. I do. I like him a lot. I like him too much. That's why we give so much, you know? Too much. I like you too much. We have great partners in the world.
Well, there you have it. His speech. Great news, huh? Anyway, let's see if there's any other. What's this? What is this? No, that is not. A gift is a gift, and gift and bribe is two different things. You know why? Because a bribe is asked to do a certain thing, but it's not being asked. This is the kind of guest I think communist Swam love to do, and communist deaths is also the same with communist Democrats around the world, which is part of the communist Swam, right? So let's say never elect Democrats, or else, well, at least it's the closest one, but it's going to change either way. You know, the corruption doesn't just stay in a single location, or rather, infiltration always happens. So it's easy to see. Just remember that World War II is won by the bad guys, communist Democrats. It's created, orchestrated, and such. So Syria, let's say, welcome President Trump decision to lift sanctions on Syria. Man, I mean, like, for how long Syria has been sanctioned anyway? Now that sanction has been removed, it's going to be like, whoa, it's going to be a great country, right? Well, it surely doesn't need Arab, it surely doesn't need Palestine. I mean, they start the war, so be it. Just make them disappear. They are really annoying. Turn arrived at the Arabian Daily Farm. Well, there are a lot. Really is a lot of news. Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure CNN, nice. There you go. CNN, the communist Swam media. They doesn't have money coming in, but so you are going to tend to going to figure out where are they getting their funds from? It's pretty obvious, right? My US President Donald Trump has arrived in Saudi Arabia in what will be the first stop of a 3-day tour that will also see him visit Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Well, I'm just gonna add in some random comments. Okay, so that's over. Hey, wait, what is this? Let's take a look. We're gonna help the people of Gaza get some food. People are starving, and we're gonna help them get some food.
Gaza, because we're going to help the people of Gaza get some food. People are starving, and we're going to help them get some food. A lot of people are making it very, very bad. If you look, Hamas is making it impossible because they're taking everything that's brought in. But we're going to help the people of Gaza because they're being treated very badly by Hamas. Thank you very much. We're going to help the people of Gaza get.
Now, do you know what this means? Because Hamas second over Palestine, right? And the people of Palestinian knows, the good people knows that they are in trouble because they now see the reality after long years of during President Trump presidency watched over the country, and they didn't put effort into it. Now they are suffering, and for some reason they are not taking enough action, or rather did take action, just insufficient, just stupid. Why do you even do protests in such a situation? Protest is out of the question. And not mass killing. So yeah. So anyway, President Trump decided to help them. Why? Because, you know, if they are crying for help, right, and they keep fighting but keep getting killed, right, without the ability to gain some maybe weapons and such to fight for themselves, then I guess at the very least to ease themselves from their own mistake. Hopefully the younger generation will change things. So I guess President Trump will help them a bit. I mean, like, why not, right? If the country is able to maintain itself, then only then offer a helping hand to some other people. And I won't call Gaza a country because Gaza is not really a country at this point. Just neither does Palestine. They really like completely they're just a terrorist state starting war here and there and trying to start World War III, but probably not the World War III. They are incapable of doing that. The people trying to start World War III is Communist China, Ukraine. Because Ukraine is actually a channel for the bioweapon, right? COVID. Aside from that, also some other bioweapon. There are a few actually. I believe I doesn't have to mention it after COVID. It's common sense. And anyway, we will see how it goes. It's definitely interesting though, so make sure to check it out. I know everyone is like not happy with let's say Israel, and also we giving weapon to Ukraine, but at some point you tend to going to have to figure out, right? It's not really the country, or rather the people that is making the decision, but the government. Although the people didn't make the decision because they didn't fight back, which is totally retarded. But these are where things are getting too far, especially if, like Iran, right? Iran is trying to gain nuclear power, but that's surely definitely not allowed because you know the reason why. So I guess together with Israel in stopping it, it's not a bad idea. Although I do hear that about from time to time there's some type of manipulation trying to inflict onto the US, but that one I don't think it's a problem. It's really like it's way too minor. Why is it? Because it's like you guys are too fucking stupid. You're so dumb. You can't even do maths. So what is it to say, right? What it is to say. There's nothing to say already. It's hard to point out. If you are that dumb, then it's end of the story already. So you really need education. Just simple. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I'm not saying all, just some. Alright. That's my point. Just try to study well. Alright. Get better in life, and you do better sooner or later. Yeah, all the good news. So anyway, right now we should move on to, let's say, Trump stop the war on Gaza. Israel genocide? No, that's not really. That's really just Gaza asking for themselves. Stopping the war is just something like, yeah, sure, stop the war, but you have to get rid of Hamas, right? If you want to stop the war, how are you going to stop the war? I mean, the war started is because of the people in Gaza didn't do anything about it. It's their own fault, right? So genocide? No, it's not genocide. Literally not genocide. Because if you are living in the same community and not being responsible to it, right, that it's really what you ask for. You don't start the war by shooting 5,000 missed rockets right in the midnight for nothing, right? So first thing first, get rid of Hamas. Well, okay, let's move on to Asmongold video. Let's see. Oh no, where is it? Where's Asmongold? Is it this? Yep. Let's begin.
For $600 billion of investments in the U.S.
And it's crucial for the wider world to note this great transformation has not come from Western interventionists or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing to develop.
That is so on point. Like really, so on point, right?
Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions.
He's just coming out and saying,
President Trump is so on point. For some reason, I cannot find this video. So but I did saw it like yesterday night, and when I tried looking for it, it's like not possible. I'm not able to look for it. Is it Fox News? Maybe, I'm not sure.
yes.
Starting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done.
He hates Israel now. They leaked the signal chats. That's the rumor. Yeah. And the thing is that, I mean, again, this goes in line with what I was saying, is that he runs shit like basically a like a crime syndicate. The moment that any person does anything even slightly to double cross you, they are immediately off the list. They're wearing cement shoes. They're done. We will never trust you again. Fuck you forever. Yeah, they're totally cut off. Exactly. And so, no, and I bet that's probably what happened.
And the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were...
Oh my God.
That is very on point. Like literally, if you can make that one mistake by being let's say a freaking swarm retards, then no way, man. You're immediately out instantly because it's just swarm retards, and they are literally zombies, and the bad guys, and they have to be destroyed no matter what. No more holding back.
In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves. Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
Oh my, Elon Musk also had also went with him on Air Force One. Let's speed up our video. It's like 1 hour. Whoa, that's crazy. Wait, I already sped up.
How could he be so base? I don't know. Is it a coincidence that Trump did this after the new Kanye song? Well, I'm not going to say that there's a connection, but I will say that those timelines do line up. This is a plus.
Whoa.
That many. Okay? You guys see? That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking money, man. I cannot fucking believe this is real. This is insane. This has exceeded all of my expectations. This is like, you know what this is kind of like? This is like whenever like a really good video, like an Elden Ring level video game comes out, and it's like you thought it was going to be this, but you actually didn't even know how good it was going to be. This is insane.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, it's true, Rod. It's like really incredible. It's extremely incredible. It's event that's so great. Let's just say it's beyond the word greatness at this point. It's really literally beyond.
It's an honor to be here. What a great place. What a great place,
Wow.
but more importantly, what great people. I want to thank His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, for that incredible introduction. He's an incredible man. Known him a long time now. There's nobody like him. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much, my friend.
Man.
And it's a tremendous honor to return to this beautiful kingdom.
Is it? Yeah, no, you're right. Is this the first purple tie? I don't think we've seen a purple tie in a long time.
And be welcomed back with
this
such
is
extraordinary
this is a big
generosity
deal.
and warmth. I've never forgotten the exceptional hospitality showed to us by King Solomon, who's just, we talk about a great man. That is a great man.
Yep.
That is a great man, a great family. And that visit took place exactly 8 years ago. The graciousness of the royal family and the Saudi people is really unsurpassed, no matter where you go.
Isn't that the guy that ordered the journalist assassination? Yeah. I mean, look, that was not great.
Let me also thank the countless
Not good.
ministers, government officials, business leaders, and distinguished
Latest.
guests for
Nobody's
that warm
perfect.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very warm, and I know so many of you. I'd like to call out all of
It's a
your
long
names,
time
but
ago.
we have a lot of problems. Would be here for a long time. We don't want that, so don't be upset. With this historic state visit, we celebrate more than 80 years of close partnership between the United States and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ever since President Franklin Roosevelt met with King Solomon's father, King Abdul Aziz, aboard the USS Quincy in 1945,
Wow.
the U.S.-Saudi relationship has been a bedrock of security and prosperity. Today we reaffirm this important bond, and we take the next steps to make our relationship closer, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. It is more powerful than ever before. And by the way, it will remain that way. We don't go in and out like other people. It will remain that way.
Oh, jeez. Let me guess, this is going to be another instance of Trump announcing that he's never going to leave office.
I've come this afternoon to talk about the bright future of the Middle East, but first let me begin by sharing the abundance of good news from a place called America. In less than 4 months, our new
Is this this is the victory lap again? Another victory lap? That's great.
administration has achieved more than
Yeah.
most other administrations accomplish in 4 years or even 8 years. We've actually done, for the most part, more. The day I took office, we inherited. Thank you. Thank you. The day I took office, we inherited a colossal invasion on our southern border, an invasion like you'd never want to see here. Nobody should ever want to see it.
Well, they don't see it there. As far as I know, Saudi Arabia doesn't take a whole lot of people. Like, if you're coming into Saudi Arabia illegally, I heard that's not a good thing. You don't want to do that. That's a bad, very bad thing. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, very, very, very not good.
Within weeks, we slashed illegal border crossings to an all-time low, down 99.999%. That's good, even for this great gentleman standing right in front of me. That's a good number. We had hundreds of thousands of people. They came in at the same time last year, and last month we had, in this massive border, 3 people that got in. That's quite a difference, and we have no choice but to get a lot of the people that came in because they were not the best people. They were, in many cases, very bad people. We're getting them out. We're getting them out very fast. We're bringing them back to where they came from. We have no choice. After years of military recruiting shortfalls, enlistments in the U.S. Armed Forces are now the highest in 30 years because there is such an incredible spirit in the United States of America. We have
I love
tremendous
how
spirit
people
again.
are surprised by that. Like, people are surprised. Yes, big surprise that whenever you have the guy leading the military who has a tattoo of the Crusades on his arm, that you're going to have more people that want to join the military. Because guess the kind of people that like joining the military? Yeah, I wonder.
About a year ago,
Yeah, I guess it's true. I mean, like, the skull of a war. It's a very cool thing to have, and man, well, if you actually understand what I'm saying, I think you will understand it. It's actually quite hard to understand about this crusade thing though. Like the scar of the crusade. It's quite hard to explain it, but if you really want to know, probably we could chat some other time. Do let me know.
it was a big story, front page on every paper all over the world, that nobody wanted to enlist in our military, meaning we were way under enlisted. And just last week it came out that we had the strongest enlistment. They say 30 years, but probably it's maybe ever.
Think about that. Higher than 9/11. And I remember 9/11, like y'all like I was 11, right, when that happened. But like that was like a Helldivers 2 moment. It was crazy how.
Wait, so you mean like the recruitment people actually voluntarily join the recruitment greater than 9/11? Whoa. Ah, looks like there is something very interesting going on. Smart people coming in and ready to actually take action on themselves. Unlike the previous generation that doesn't take actions. All talk and no actions. That's great.
Hard people went when after 9/11
This is very great news, right?
happened.
They don't go back that far. It's
Yeah.
the best, and that includes police officers, firemen, everything else. Is a great spirit in the United States right now. A brand new poll from Rasmussen just showed that
About him?
the number of Americans who believe the nation is on the right
right.
track, they have a right track, wrong track, is now the highest in over 20 years. And it hasn't been anything like this because for many years it was the wrong track. And I can tell you for the last 4 years it was definitely the wrong track, but it's the highest it's been in many, many years.
Yeah.
We renamed the Gulf of Mexico.
Well,
Please, I hope they start clapping after this.
well, you know why? Because like literally US is the one that's doing the job, right? And Mexico aren't able to get it done, which is, I guess it's a fair trade.
into the Gulf of America. That was very popular, other than perhaps with Mexico. And most importantly, for the people in this room, the days of economic misery under the last administration are rapidly giving way to the greatest economy in the history of the world. We are rocking.
Wow.
The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter. Mm-hmm. But groceries, gasoline, energy, and all other prices.
Well, yeah.
Are down with no
Yeah.
inflation. We have no inflation in a few short weeks.
I mean, you can laugh about this, but Trump said that he wanted them to raise the investment up to $1 trillion because Mohammed was just a really nice guy. I think it worked. Yeah.
We've
They
created
did, yeah.
464,000 brand new jobs. Think of that. It's almost 500,000 jobs created just in a matter of weeks. We just reached a historic trade agreement with the United Kingdom, and over the weekend we reached a breakthrough agreement with China. Both outstanding deals. China's agreed. We have to get it down. We have to get the little details down. And Scott, you're going to work on that very hard, but China's agreed to open up to the United States for trade and everything else. But they have to do it, so we'll see what happens. But we had a very, very good meeting with both of those countries. We are cutting
Wait, Jensen's
10 old
doing videos here?
regulations for every new
Is that true?
regulation. We're getting rid of all of the red tape.
Wait, is he?
That is
Yes?
so many, frankly, countries, as they get older, they develop a lot of red tape, and we're getting rid of it. We're getting rid of it at record levels. And I'm pleased to report that the United States Congress is on the verge of passing the largest tax cut and regulation cut in American history. We think we're in good shape to get that. And if we get that, that will be like a rocket ship for our country. In the first quarter of
That'd
the
be good.
year, the investment in America was up an astounding 22%. More than $10 trillion of new investments have been announced or are coming just since the election on November 5th. So think of that. In a very short period of time, we have over $10 trillion, and it could be much higher than that. Not everybody comes to the White House to have a news conference that they're going to be opening up in America, but they're all coming in at numbers that
Sitting
we've never
around.
seen before.
Yeah.
If you take a look at other presidencies, they wouldn't do $1 trillion sometime in years. We did this in essentially 2 months because you have to say we got into office and they gave me about a month to clean up and fix up the Oval Office. And after that, we started working. And the money is pouring in, the jobs are pouring in, the companies are pouring into our country like we've never seen before. There's never been anything like it. And we let other people tariff us into
Oh, geez.
losing a lot of money and a lot of jobs.
Oh,
and
here
now
we go.
we're tariffing them, and it's at a level that nobody's seen. It's a level that is making us
Yeah.
a very much different country and a very different
Do
Republican
you think
Party.
Sleepy Joe could yap this long if he was up there? Well, he'd probably be. Well, I mean, he wouldn't be there. That's
We
the thing.
won
Yeah, I don't know.
A tremendous
But,
victory in November.
anyway.
We won all 7 swing states, the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. The Electoral College, we won by 312 to 226. Remember they said,
That's-
well, we could get to 270. No, we got to 312. That's a big difference. And very importantly, we won counties throughout the United States.
How many electoral votes do you guys think he's going to get in 2028?
2,660
Yeah.
to 451. That's why
All
when
of
you
them?
look at a map, they're all red.
gonna get the
It's
clean
all-
sweep?
The whole country is red. Red stands for Republican.
You're gonna go Reagan on
From the
him?
moment
Is that
on, and from the moment we started, we've seen wealth that just poured and is pouring back into America. Apple is investing $500 billion. NVIDIA is investing.
Oh,
and I
that's
see my
why-
friend
that's
is
why
here.
he's there.
Jensen, that's very good, wherever you may be. I thank you very much, because he's putting in $500 billion. TSMC is investing.
Is that the Taiwan? I think it is.
Where is Jensen, by the way? Where is he? He's standing here. Where is he? I just saw that. Thank you very much, Jensen. I mean, Tim Cook isn't here, but you are. What a job you've done. He said he's got
There
90.
he is, right there. I heard that, and I don't know if I think this is kind of known.
This is, well, you know right about like Nvidia Tim Cook. Wait, Tim Cook is it? What's his name again? I'm not sure. I think I've forgotten. But anyway, and this Nvidia CEO is here, so I think it's pretty obvious what's going on already. It's actually a very good news, and for this to happen, and I believe that toward the future, a lot of things we can see that is there will be a lot of advancement and interesting things going on. So it's definitely a future to look forward to. Well then,
Is that, but I heard from somebody that would know these things, is that one of the reasons why Trump put the brakes on some of the computer tariffs is that this guy had a dinner with him, and right after that dinner, that's whenever all of these, you know, things were announced and all of this happened. Yeah, it happened.
89% of the
Yep.
chip market. I don't know. That's a big. That's
true.
not easy to
Yeah.
beat. But what a job you've done. Thank
Jensen's
you.
going to get access to Saudi Arabia.
Country. You know
Trump
that.
gave him permission because
Thank
of
you
that.
for the investment. TSMC
Oh,
is
there it is.
investing $200 billion, and with this trip, we're adding over $1 trillion more in terms of investment into our country and buying our products.
Oh,
And,
damn.
You know, nobody makes military equipment like us. We have the best military equipment, the best missiles, the best rockets, the best everything. Best submarines, by the way. Most lethal weapon in the world. In addition to purchases of $142 billion of American-made military equipment by our great Saudi
Submarines?
partners, the largest ever.
Okay,
This week
by the
there
way.
are multi-billion-dollar commercial deals with
Yeah.
Amazon, Oracle, AMD. They're all here.
Oh.
Uber, Qualcomm, Johnson & Johnson, and many, many more.
Aren't they the ones that made the ghetto COVID vaccine?
So I want to congratulate everybody. So many great business executives, many of you, most of you, I know.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were coming in, you know, about a month ago. They weren't that happy when they saw me. And now they're saying, sir, you're doing a great job. Thank you very much. It's amazing what a rising market will do. Oh, it's going to get a lot higher. In fact, I told people 5 weeks ago, it's a great time to buy. I got
Let's see
criticized.
if it's any higher. All right.
For that. Now they don't criticize
right.
me anymore. People should have listened. But it's going to go a lot higher. You see, we've never had anything like this happen. It's an explosion of investment and jobs, and great companies are coming in. Never seen anything like it. There's no better place to make the
Nvidia's
future.
up by 6%. I bet.
well, it's literally like on point my a lot of the information. For example, well, I don't think if I am, let's say, because I actually have a job of my own which I'm doing, so I didn't really have the time to research like the stock market and such, but I guess it works.
Make a fortune, do anything, frankly, than what we have in the United States of America under a certain president, Donald J. Trump. I have the right attitude. I have the same attitude that the people in the front row, second row, third row have. As you get back, perhaps they start to wane a little bit in terms of their view. But they understand, and we're doing what a lot of smart people would do. And we're not necessarily being politically correct. You saw what we did yesterday with healthcare.
Oh,
We've
here we go.
cut our healthcare by 50 to 90%. You're going to see drugs and pharmaceuticals come down at numbers that nobody has ever seen. And drugs, pharmaceuticals, we think will be dropping.
Make Saudi
And-
Arabia great again. You know what's ironic about that is I think this is actually going to do that. I do think so. I mean, like with like them shift.
Yes, I definitely think I have the same thoughts as well, and I like seriously, Saudi Arabia is already like look pretty great already, right? Well, it's probably not as advanced in terms of building structures, but with this, I think the building structures and everything, it's gonna be a whoa. I think it's gonna be like, because it's totally gonna be on par with any other high-rate first world country. It will be not Malaysia though. Malaysia and just like communist state like Malaysia. What else? It's probably not Cambodia at this moment, but in Cambodia there's a lot of communist swamp bases, so it's technically still a communist state, and South Korea as well still is a communist state because of, you can see right, their behaviors, the local cultures and everything. It's full of communist unit in it, especially that they are quite involved in communist China. So well, it's definitely going to be interesting. I saw one if can, I want to live in Europe actually. Yeah, better let's not push it.
To entertainment and like Trump opening up more trade avenues, I actually think it's going to be huge for them.
And, it'll be a
Well, it's definitely gonna be huge, right? In more ways than one.
redistribution of costs with other nations, which really
It'll
took
be good for
advantage
us,
of a
too.
very nice group of people that ran our country.
It's very good
But
for the
not
world.
only is
I
this a
think so, too.
time
I'm
of
very positive
incredible
about this.
excitement in the United States, it's also an exhilarating period right here in the Arabian Peninsula. Beautiful place, by the way. Beautiful place. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly 8 years ago this month, I stood in this very room and look forward to a future in which the nations
Will you go to the gamer city in Saudi Arabia? Yes.
of this region
Yes.
would drive the
Absolutely.
forces of terrorism and extreme
What did Asmongold say just now?
Saudi Arabia? Yes.
and look forward to a future in which the nations
Will you go to the gamer city in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I have the same answer as well. Runa have the same answer. Yes, we'll definitely go to. I mean, it's like, I would say that it's full of respects and love, and it's definitely the place to go to. So I will definitely visit there. But Saudi Arabia, I mean, since I never went before, right, it's definitely a good chance in this near future.
Arabia? Yes.
this region
Yes.
would drive the
Absolutely.
forces of terrorism and extremism, drive them right out of existence, and take your place among the proudest, most prosperous, most successful nations anywhere in the world as leaders of a modern and rising Middle East. So exciting. So exciting. Mohammed, you sleep at night? How do you sleep? Huh? Just thinking.
Oh wow. So it's like,
Oh God.
What a job. He tosses and turns like some of us. Tosses and turns all night. How
Oh,
do I make
man.
it even better all night? It's the ones that don't toss and turn. They're the ones that will never take you to the promised land, won't they? But you have done some job. True.
Like you know, what's going on? I don't know.
Critics doubted that it was possible what you've done, but over the past 8 years, Saudi Arabia has proved the critics totally wrong. The transformation that has occurred, even by these incredible business leaders. I mean, you had the biggest leaders in
Do you
business.
remember those reductive virtue signaling losers a few years ago that were crying about content creators going to Saudi Arabia to
Yeah.
go to compete in tournaments?
yep,
Do you remember how pathetic and annoying that was?
yep. Insanely annoying.
Just keep in mind who was on the right side of history. As always, it was me.
Anywhere in the world standing right before us. But the transformation that has occurred under the leadership of King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed has been truly extraordinary.
Let's say it's not just Asmongold that's on the right side of history, because let's say every single base people, right, or every single one that's not actually a stump, or maybe like, you know, not working in a black company and such. By the way, if you are working in a black company, right, make sure you quickly find some things, find replacement and quit. Because if not, it's just going to, literally, they are going to eat you up. So, yeah. Just make sure anyone that is not dumb, you know this.
Such a thing
Some
as
say
I
they're
don't
still
think ever
crying.
happened
Yep.
before. I've never seen anything at that scale happen before. And I guess, you know, maybe
there's
you
more
could
people
say
laughing.
the United States is doing pretty well too, you know, but I don't think too many people have seen that happen before. Majestic skyscrapers, the towers that I see, the difference between now and 8 years ago. And 8 years ago was very impressive, but the towers
they're
that
cooking.
I see rising, some of the exhibits that I was shown by Mohammed, if what I've seen there is just an amazing, it's an amazing process, amazing genius of so many people, architecture, but I have a feeling I know where many of those ideas came from. Happens to be sitting right in this room right before me, but the towers and all of the different, I've seen a lot of different towers. I didn't think there's any version of a tower that I haven't seen in one form or another. I just passed 4 exhibits. I have never seen anything like any of them. So it's going to be very exciting.
Wow.
And they sit among the ancient wonders of a growing and exciting city. It's really amazing. Riyadh is becoming not just a seat of government, but a major business, cultural, and high-tech capital of the entire world. The World Cup is here. Johnny, just stand up, Johnny. Johnny, thank you, Johnny.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh man, holy, this is, oh my gosh, this is so, I mean, this is incredible, like, holy, I don't know, holy what, holy God, holy water, the holy rainbow, the holy city, the holy land, the holy whatever. This is so great, man. Oh my goodness. Give me a minute. I think I really like need to calm down a bit. Holy. Man, this is great. Holy cow.
They're having the World Cup in Saudi Arabia? Is that true?
Great job, Johnny, great job. But the World Cup and the World Expo will soon be coming here, just like the World Cup is coming to the United States. It's
2030?
going to be
Wow.
really exciting.
Okay, so this like
Next year, the engines of Formula One racing now roar through the streets of Jeddah in a historic mile.
Formula One. Wait, Formula One is actually made in Malaysia originally, but I think Communist Malaysia, which is a communist state, actually like abolish it, like a fucking morons. And well, it's not foreign, it's just leftish something. But anyway, now we have big games coming in.
Milestone. Other industries recently surpassed oil. Think of it, all of your other industries now have surpassed oil. I don't know if a lot of people will understand what that means. It's so big to make up a majority of the Saudi economy for the very first time ever. So think of that. Other
You know,
industries.
it's kind of surprising. There's only like a few people there with their phones recording this shit. You know, because usually in the U.S., whenever it shows the crowd, there's always a bunch of people recording. Yeah.
Now bigger even than oil, which is
You know why people is not recording this shit with their phone? Not a lot of people, because most of them are paying extreme attention at what is being present in the front, and only probably a few of them are able to do recording because they have a strong sense of want to spread the words, and probably they would get permission first, because it's definitely not nice to immediately do recording without getting permissions.
There's always going to be a big monster. It's a big one, but that's a great tribute to you and economic development properly used. In other cities throughout the peninsula, places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, Doha, Muscat, the
getting filmed anyway?
transformations
Yeah,
have been
imagine that.
unbelievably remarkable. Before our eyes, a new generation of leaders is transcending the ancient conflicts of tired divisions of the past and forging a future where the Middle East is defined by commerce, not chaos, where it exports technology, not terrorism, and where people of different nations, religions, and creeds are building cities together, not bombing each other out of existence. We don't want that.
Wow. God damn.
And it's crucial for the wider world to note this great transformation has not come from Western intervention.
Here it comes. All right. Yep. Here it is, boys. We'll turn it up.
Or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi.
Wait, I will turn it up as well, the volume, so that everyone could hear it. Let's mix it up.
world to note this great transformation has not come from Western intervention.
Here it comes. All right. Yep. Here it is, boys. We'll turn it up.
Or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing.
You love to hear it.
To develop
Yep.
Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and
Well, that's a great, how do I say? Self-sufficient is always nice. Self-sufficient.
I have been waiting for like 15 years for somebody to say this. What an admission? Yes.
Hey, wait, I'm pretty sure that I actually wait exactly. Wait, did I wait exactly this long actually? I don't know, but I actually did. I mean, similarly, I guess. Not sure. Alright.
Holy fuck. How many of you guys feel the exact same?
Hello, man. It hurts my ears.
interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves.
Yeah, they're going to go to the other side of the world and say, this is how you have to live. Wow, I wonder why that didn't work out. Oh, that created a lot of people that didn't like you? Really? Huh? What a mystery. I guess that's because they're all terrorists. Oh, of course. That must be the reason. Sure. And they hate us.
Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
That's crazy to say. Damn.
And it's something only you could do. You achieved a modern miracle, the Arabian way. That's a good way.
WSP chart? Yeah, like this is a big one.
Today, the Gulf nations have shown this entire region a path towards safe and orderly societies with improving quality of life, flourishing economic growth, expanding personal freedoms, and increasing responsibilities on the world stage. After so many decades of conflict, finally it is within our grasp to reach the future that generations before us could only dream about, a land of peace, safety, harmony, opportunity, innovation, and achievement right here in the Middle East. So beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing that's happening. Wow. I guess, you know, the people that are here can't even really appreciate it because you see it happening, and it's when you come to a place that you haven't seen in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years that it's even more incredible. When I left office just over 4 years ago, that future seemed almost impossible, what you've done. Together we had obliterated the killers of ISIS. We wiped them out, terminated its founder and leader, al-Baghdadi. We had
another legendary speech. That one.
Yeah, it's definitely a legendary speech, but I just say that it's ultimate achievement.
Do you remember that at 2 in the morning? Bro, 2 in the fucking morning, this guy is out there talking shit, posting kill cams. Yeah, died like a dog.
Heal the divide in the Gulf.
I don't get it.
What? Are you kidding me? 2 a.m. in the morning that the target has been neutralized? Posting about the target being neutralized at 2 a.m. Whoa, man. You are serious.
Enough credit, you know? I'm writing a book.
Operation Council, it's a very big deal, and united the nations of the region to stand against the enemies of all civilization. We'd imposed unprecedented sanctions on Iran and starved the regime of resources to fund terror. They were unable to fund anything because they had no money left. They had no money. But the new administration came in and let them have a lot of money, and you saw what happened. It was not money well spent. And with the historic Abraham Accords that we're so proud of. All the momentum was aimed at peace, and it aimed very successfully. It's been an amazing thing, the Abraham Accords, and it's my fervent hope, wish, and even my dream that Saudi Arabia, a place I have such respect for, especially over the last fairly short period of time, what you've been able to do, but we'll soon
so
be joining
transparent, I
the
love it,
Abraham
yeah.
Accords. I
It's
think
great.
it'll be a tremendous tribute to your country, and it will be something that's really going to be very important for the future of the Middle East. I took a risk in doing them, and they've been an absolute bonanza for the countries that have joined.
Bonanza.
The Biden administration did nothing for 4 years. We would have had it filled out. But it will be a special day in the Middle East with the whole world watching when Saudi Arabia joins us. And you'll be greatly honoring me, and you'll be greatly honoring all of those people that have fought so hard for the Middle East. And I really think it's going to be something special. But you'll do it in your own time. And that's what I want, and that's what you want, and that's the way it's going to be. When I left office,
I don't think that Trump being able to potentially bring peace to the Middle East was on the bingo. Like, people didn't even have this one in the corners. Yeah, like this
still
shit was
standing
not.
between
Yeah,
this
this was
region
not in
and
the
its
corner.
unbelievable potential was a small group of rogue actors and violent thugs seeking constantly to drag the Middle East backward and into havoc, mayhem, and indeed into war. Unfortunately, instead of confronting these destructive forces, the last U.S. administration chose to enrich them and empower them and give them billions and billions of dollars. The Biden administration, the worst administration in the history of our country, by the way, spurned our most trusted and longstanding Gulf partners, and I can say partners worldwide, one of our great partners, no matter who we look to, and we have great partners in the world.
Yeah.
But we have none stronger and nobody like the gentleman that's right before me. He's your greatest representative. Greatest representative.
Yep.
There he is.
Yep. There is.
And if I didn't like him, I'd get out of here so fast. You know that, don't you? He knows me well. I do.
My favorite thing about MBS.
It's definitely, how do I say this? It's definitely true about what he said, and just great.
Is that when somebody interviewed him and asked him about, what do you think about the accusations of sports washing? He said, if sports washing makes our GDP go up by 5%, we're going to keep sports washing. And I was like, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, true. Like, wait, duh.
Him a lot.
Yeah.
I like him too much.
Remember
That's
that
why
one?
we
Yeah, it
give
was a
so
good one.
much. You know? Too much. I like you too much.
When you put it like that,
Great
yeah,
guy.
exactly.
They lifted sanctions on Iran in exchange for getting nothing and sent the regime tens of billions of dollars.
It's weird that he throws shade in speeches to world leaders. It makes sense when he's in the U.S., but this setting is just weird. No, I think this is... I guarantee you that I bet a lot of the guys there love this shit. I bet they absolutely fucking love it.
Yep.
The fun, terror, and death all over the world, and they laughed at him. They laughed at our leader.
Like, why wouldn't they not love it? I mean, it's so base, like. It's
And they're
definitely.
still laughing at our leader. They thought him a fool, and they made nothing but trouble ever since, including the funding of October 7th, one of the worst days ever in the history of the Middle East. Horrible day. Biden removed the Houthis from the list of foreign terrorist organizations, even while missiles and drones were being launched right here at your beautiful city of Riyadh, and launched at ships if they happened to be sailing in the wrong
So the
lo-
Houthis were attacking Saudi Arabia too? Wait, is this true?
Whoa.
Yes?
That
These guys are
is-
trying to blow up the video game city?
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
location.
What the fuck? You
Holy shit. So this terrorist organization is. What the fuck are they doing? A bunch of troublemaker? Yeah, troublemaker, definitely.
Biden
kidding me?
administration's extreme weakness and gross incompetence derailed progress toward peace, destabilized the region, and put at risk everything we had worked so hard to build together. And when you think of the great achievements that you've made, to do it in light of a pretty hostile administration, an administration that was not a believer, it makes your achievements even greater. Makes them even greater, you know that. But in a few short months since taking office, we have achieved the swift return of American strength at home and abroad. Now working with the vast majority of people in this region who seek stability and calm, our task is to unify against the few agents of chaos and terror that are left. and that are holding hostage the dreams.
Isn't it crazy that like whenever we were talking about going to the Middle East, we were like, this would be a really cool idea. And then all of this shit has happened since then.
Yep.
That is insane, right?
Insane.
Bro, like this is some fucking like plot device shit. I love it more. Yeah, this is insane.
Millions and millions of great people. The biggest and most destructive of these.
Actually, Asmongold here, I think he meant game plot something. Yeah, it's definitely a plot, right? It's like, it's definitely a really big plot that it's worth the exploration.
Forces is the regime in Iran,
Do you think the blowfish are terrorists too? What religion are they?
which has caused unthinkable suffering in Syria, Lebanon, Gaza, Iraq,
Wait,
Yemen,
hold
and
on,
beyond.
wait, what?
Of these forces is the regime in Iran, which has caused unthinkable suffering in Syria, Lebanon, Gaza, Iraq, Yemen, and beyond. There could be no sharper contrast with the path you have pursued on the Arabian Peninsula than the disaster unfolding right across in the Gulf of Iran. Think of that. They wanted to name it that. I said, they're not going to let them do that. Do you mind if I stop that? I stopped it. We're not going to let that happen. While you have been constructing the world's tallest skyscrapers in Jeddah and Dubai, Tehran's 1979 landmarks are collapsing into rubble and dust. They had it going for a little while under a much different system, but those buildings are largely
That's when they had to take over.
falling apart, falling down, while you're building some of the world's biggest and most incredible
So is he just like, is this the play where it's basically like, okay, all of the problems come, remember I say like all the problems come from two groups of people? All of the problems come from two countries, Iran and Israel. So let's just go ahead and get together with everybody else and just get rid of them and not even think about this, and everybody else is going to be fine. Like, is that really what's going to happen? Because I feel like that's what's happening here.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they don't, if Iran and all of them doesn't want to be friends, okay, fine then we just have to look after those that want to get together and be friends. After this, Iran and such are the one that's causing trouble, right? So which is why them having a nuclear weapon is definitely a no-go.
Like, that's it. Israel isn't a problem, though. Well, it is for them.
structure, projects, buildings, all sorts of things you're building that nobody's ever even seen before. Iran's decades of neglect and mismanagement.
The reason
left
why I'm very much against Israel is that I think our politicians are compromised by Israel, and I think that the way that Israel exercises political power in the United States is antithetical to our system, and it co-opts the American government in a way that's not beneficial for America. That's the reason why I'm against Israel. I think that there's, I mean, sure, a lot of the Israeli people are probably great people. They're nice people. I think I have nothing against them. But the way that they operate and the way that they subvert our government, at least, and this is, again, this is my, like, I'm not an expert, right? I can't know what's happening behind closed doors. By the way, none of these other commentators do either. They don't know either. But this is the way it seems like to me. That's the reason why I'm against them. And I'm not even really necessarily against them. I'm just not actively for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the main reason why. It doesn't have anything to do with, like, who's right between Israel and Palestine, or, like, you know, whose religion is closer to Christianity. Like, that's all bullshit to me. Like, I think that they co-opt, they compromise, and they take advantage of our government and our political process to create a situation that's beneficial, first and foremost, for them.
the country
That's the way I
plagued by
feel about
rolling
it.
blackouts
That's the
lasting
reason.
for hours a day.
Well, it's true. I mean, like, no, I know that it's like somewhat they may be, Israel may be struggling for something, but that's definitely not an ethical thing to do. So, to be honest, it's not that I support Israel. It's just that based on the situation about, like, what they actually are acting or behave, how they behave, is the one, how they behave at that particular moment, at this current moment, is what's most important, because we got other things to do. They may be doing it for their own reason, whatever reason it is, it could be anything. It's like because what they are doing is actually the same with what communism is doing right from the beginning. So it forces others have to do the same action to intervene so that the communism doesn't completely take over and cause trouble. You already see in 2020 what actually happens when communism gain such unspeakable stupidity with other power. You already saw it, so why wouldn't Israel try to do something about it using the same method? Yes, it's definitely not ethical about what they're doing, but it's hard to blame them, you know. It cannot blame them because it's literally American. Let's say even Americans are not able to watch after themselves and cause 2020 to happen. So what else, in what standing does American have the right to blame Israel when you can't even look after yourself? No. I mean, it's literally like you asked for it, right? Just read what you saw. So, let's say no, it's not that could support Israel, but just couldn't blame them in a way. But being non-ethical is not just Israel, but also American as well, because American did not take action. Actions speak louder than word, and result is the only thing that's supreme among all of them. If you can't produce result, you took no action from the very beginning. Results is the answer, and the faster the result came out, the better the action is. If you're unable to produce fast result, you are incompetent.
Hey, all the time you hear about it. While your skill has turned dry deserts into fertile farmland, Iran's leaders have managed to turn green farmland into dry deserts as their corrupt water mafia, let's call it the water mafia, causes droughts and empty riverbeds. They get rich, but they don't let the people have
If you
any
could,
of
wouldn't
it.
you?
And
I
then,
don't blame Israel for doing it. I blame the politicians for letting it happen. Like, I never blame people. And I feel like, I mean, I guarantee you a lot of the guys, like Trump probably feels the same way. Like, I bet MBS even understands this. Like, everybody understands why they're doing it. They know why they're doing it. The problem is that people take the bait. That's the real issue.
Of course, there's the key difference at the root of it all. While the Arab states have focused on becoming pillars
Okay, let's say it's not people. Okay, of course, people take the bait, but I have a different facing it for this, which is they're just dumb. Like dumb as fuck, right? Retarded zombies, communist insects says that it's the same as communist insects, whereby they just say, I hate politics, I run away from politics, I don't want to hear about politics. Well, what do you know? Your life is literally politics, alright? If not, you won't be going to work. If you so doesn't like politics, doesn't want to be involved in politics, go live in the forest on your own. If you are living in the city, then you are already involved in politics. You use money, you spend money, you are part of the political game and already involve yourself in politics. So enough of that bullshit, right? Isn't it? I think it should be, right?
of regional stability and world commerce, Iran's leaders have focused on stealing their people's wealth to fund terror and bloodshed abroad. Most tragic of all, they have dragged down an entire region with them. Countless lives were lost in the Iranian effort to maintain a crumbling regime in Syria. Look at what happened with Syria. In Lebanon, their Hezbollah proxies have pillaged the hopes of a nation whose capital, Beirut, was once called the Paris of the Middle East. Can you imagine? All of this
I didn't even know
misery
that.
and so much more was entirely avoidable. Absolutely avoidable. And Mohammed knew that. He knew that. Smart people knew that. If only the Iranian regime had focused on building their nation up instead of tearing the region down. Yet I'm here today not merely to condemn the past chaos of Iran's leaders, but to offer them a new path and a much better path toward a far better and more hopeful future. As I've shown repeatedly, I am willing to end past conflicts and forge new partnerships for a better...
Thank fucking God, by the way, real quick. I wanted to read a comment. That's the problem with calling everything anti-Semitic. Criticize the politicians who are using money to influence, and they get called anti-Semitic. It's not a Jewish thing. It's a political payoff thing. Yeah, I know. And I think that, like, Israeli activist groups and, like, Israel in general has done a very good job at trying to conflate, like, basically, like, pro-Israel language or like being not advocating for Israel as being anti-Semitic. I think they've done this very intentionally. Yeah.
Shown repeatedly, I am willing to end past conflicts and forge new partnerships for a better and more stable world, even if our differences may be very profound, which obviously they are in the case of Iran.
I mean, look at that, bro. Like, if people are different, yeah, for sure. But like, you can get along with people. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, you should be able to get along with people for sure.
I have never believed in having permanent enemies. I am different than a lot of people think.
Thank fucking God. What's funny is during Trump's first term, he was the most pro-Israel president in a long time. This is kind of jarring and unexpected. Well, because they roached out on him. That's why. Yeah, I mean, and again, this is a mafia tactic. Like, if somebody roaches out on you like that, that's it. They're done.
Yeah.
I don't like permanent enemies.
Yeah, shit change.
Sometimes you need enemies to do the job, and you have to do it right. Enemies get you motivated. In fact, some of the closest friends of the United States of America are nations we fought wars against in generations past.
Yep,
now
like Japan.
Our friends and our allies. I want to make a deal with Iran. If I can make a deal with Iran, I'll be very happy if we're going to make your region and the world a safer place. But if Iran's leadership rejects this olive branch and continues to attack their neighbors, then we will have no choice but to inflict massive, maximum pressure, drive Iranian oil export.
I think him going here and putting pressure on them, like regional pressure on them to do it, will help. I think that's clearly why he's doing this.
Like I did before. You know that they were a virtually bankrupt country because of what I did. They had no money for terror. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, and take all action required to stop the regime from ever having a nuclear weapon. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
Great, he's getting them to clap for that.
But with that said, Iran can have a much brighter future, but will never allow America and its allies to be threatened with terrorism or nuclear attack. The choice is theirs to make. We really want them to be a successful country. We want them to be a wonderful, safe, great country, but they cannot have a nuclear weapon. This is an offer that will not last forever. The time is right now for them to choose. Right now, we don't have a lot of time to wait. Things are happening at a very fast pace. They're happening right here. They're happening at a very fast pace. So they have to make their move right now, one way or the other. Make your move. As I said in my inaugural address, my greatest hope is to be a peacemaker and to be a unifier. I don't like war.
Like the Antichrist.
We have the greatest military, by the way, in the history of the world. You know, I rebuilt our military in my first 4 years and rebuilt it into the most powerful military there is. And you saw that when I knocked out ISIS in 3 weeks. People said it would take 4 years, 5 years. I did it. We did it in 3 weeks. Just days ago.
What a surprise. This is what I said before about like all of these like really big timetables for like how long it's going to take to do something. I always thought that was bullshit. I did. I thought that was all bullshit. Like, oh, it's going to take you this long because you want it to take that long because that means you get more money.
My administration successfully brokered a historic ceasefire to stop the escalating violence between...
Does everything need to be like the DMV? It does if you're being paid.
India and Pakistan.
It's the same reason why streamers drag out content. They drag it the fuck out because it's better for viewership. Whereas on YouTube, it's better to just get the content out, get it done. If it's in your best... Stalling, yes, exactly. Like yourself, I never do that.
And I use trade to a large extent to do it. I said,
I feel like I'm rushed and I stream 8 hours a day.
Let's do some trading.
Yeah.
Let's not trade nuclear missiles.
Well, it's true that even on Twitch is like kind of like a waste of time. But the problem is because like for example like on YouTube, right, people who just started streaming or even like trying to distribute content, for some reason YouTube algorithm always like to play communism. I just say it's playing communism because like, you know, the search result or recommendation doesn't really help a lot on the news. Actually, it doesn't help even for new streamers and such, or unless you suddenly become really popular, you bring in a lot of other subscriber from other platform, right? YouTube will not help you. So it's really like literally a bad idea. But in terms of Twitch, because well, it's true that long hours streaming is actually a very bad idea actually, because it's really pointless. I mean, for what actually you want to stream for so long? But well, I guess Twitch is for like chatting, communication, something like that. It's not really about playing games and such, to be honest. It's more like to communicate with each other, having some time talking and such, going live. But the best place to share content, right, is probably YouTube. The only problem is YouTube is unable to, how do I say this? Yeah, it doesn't help small streamers. So that's about it.
What do you
Let's
mean?
trade the things that you make so beautifully. And they both have very powerful leaders, very strong leaders, good leaders, smart leaders. And it all stopped. Hopefully it'll remain that way, but it all stopped. I was very proud of Marco Rubio and all of the people that worked so hard. Marco, stand up. What a great job you did on that. Thank you, J.D. Vance, Marco. The whole group worked with you, but it was a great job. And I think they're
Big Marco, yeah.
actually getting along. Maybe we can even get them together a little bit, Marco, where they go out and have a nice dinner together. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, jeez.
But we've come a long way, and it's could be, millions of people could have died from that conflict that started off small and was getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. I've also been working relentlessly to end the terrible bloodshed between Russia and Ukraine, and very importantly, talks are being held in Turkey later this week, probably on Thursday, and they could produce some pretty good results. Our people are going to be going there. Marco's going to be going there. Others are going to be going, and we'll see if we can get it done. 5,000 people, young people for the most part, soldiers from Ukraine, soldiers
Putin's
from
not
Russia.
gonna show
They're not
up.
from here, and they're not.
I think he will. Honestly, I think he will. I don't know about this, but like, it feels like maybe this is just like my perspective, but like I feel like this war made Russia look like shit. I remember when it started, I thought Russia was gonna have this shit done and dusted in 48 hours. I think it made him look really bad, and I think he knows that. And it's a huge amount of money. They're having to conscript a bunch of people. Yeah, we propped it up. Yeah, but it still makes him look bad.
From the United States, but their souls.
It's a massive L.
I think
they
usually,
did.
mostly they're young, beautiful souls that left their parents waving goodbye, left their brothers and sisters.
Well, I have a different opinion from Asmongold, where the reason Russia did not stop, right, is actually because have to make sure that the channel for delivering Communist China, Communist storm weapon, bioweapon through Ukraine is like to make sure it's completely stopped, to completely cut off the line. Because if you just like end the war within like 48 hours, you won't cut off the line. I mean, everyone knows, right, how black market works. It's just common sense. So no, Russia will not be able to stop it unless something came in, and there's President Trump. So how are we supposed to do it? You just have to cut off the communist arm, right? That's what Russia doing. So Russia looks bad? I don't think so. I don't think Russia actually looks bad. In a sense that they are not able to pull back is because of, communist Europe. Europe is a communist country, a bunch of communist states. And in order to cut it off, Russia is doing what it needs to be done on Ukraine. So basically is if want anything to end, it's probably like President Trump. That's only thing. Europe is, they are completely fucked up, useless piece of shit. I mean, it's like, it's already very obvious like what is going to happen, right? Why they didn't take any action? I mean, the people, right? Why didn't take any action? They didn't act on it. It literally took like so damn long. Why are you taking your sweet time? Like a fucking moron. Yeah. What I can say is, rip what you saw then.
Goodbye, I'll see you soon. And they got blown to pieces. 5,000 on average a week are dying. And people are dying elsewhere in the region, but tremendous numbers like we haven't seen since World War II are dying. And I want to stop it. I want to stop it. It's a horrible war. Would have never happened if I were president. That's a war that would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened if I were president, because Iran had no money to pay Hamas or anybody else. They had no money. They were not looking to take care of them. They had to take care of themselves. They had no money. We stopped their oil effectively with the embargoes and sanctions.
He said the line. He did.
But let me take this opportunity to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the constructive role that you've played in facilitating the Ukraine talks. And it really is, you've been amazing. You've made everything available to us. Thank you very much. Thank you. And if we get that settled, we'll pay a special tribute to what you've done. You really did lay a great groundwork. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The West should not be dragging itself backward into another endless war in Europe, yet another endless war. We should stop the killing and work together to address the biggest long-term threats as one unbeatable team. Think of us as an unbeatable team. I mean, when you look at what you've done here, that's much more difficult than stopping stupidity. Think of it. It's stupidity. What you've done is much more difficult, and you did it better than anybody else has ever done it. As President of the United States,
Yes, it's right. This is the most difficult. It's the hardest part of the game. Now, who is able to play the hard part of the game? Only people with let's say people like Asmongold, people like President Trump, and yes, there are many of us in the entire world. The only problem is, you know, wrong decisions from time to time, and also suppression from the communist swarm. That is the main point actually. The worst thing always happens. It's freaking difficult, even among family members as well. Totally retarded.
my preference will always be for peace and partnership whenever those outcomes can be achieved. Always. It's always going to be that way.
You think a lot of this is due to the younger generation kind of moving past ancient differences? Well, I think there's a lot of people that... I think one of the really big things that kind of has made a big difference for average people is the internet. And now that, like, you can get on the internet with a guy that's from, like, you know, Qatar, or, I mean, I think you need a VPN to be in Saudi, but I think pretty sure, like, it's like China, like, they all have on. Being able to, like, talk to these guys and, like, have, like, just a back and forth with them, I think that that does a lot more. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about with the internet at all, is because, like, everybody talks about, oh, people are so racist on the internet. I think not only is that not true, but it's the opposite. I think that the internet has broken down more cultural and xenophobic barriers than any other singular force in history. Because now you can have a direct personal conversation with a person that lives anywhere in the world, assuming that you speak the same language. And even that nowadays is becoming less relevant with translation tools. And so you have people that are like, yeah, well, I mean, if this place is so bad, then why do I know 3 guys that live there and they're good guys? And I think that the more that you have those relationships happen, and I think those relationships, by the way, are happening more than the negative experiences at a probably like 100-to-1 ratio, right? Because
Yes, it's true, and which is why Google and all the other communist something is been trying to destroy themselves, destroy the internet, the network, and everything. Google already lost tons of their, let's say, their data centers, their servers, tons of them is being closed down, so a lot of things doesn't work already. Even the code, they go and donate it to Communist China for free. Like a fucking moron. You know about Baidu, right? It's actually Google. And who is the one that created the engine? It's the one behind it, the programmers that is based. They created it. And Google go and donate it like a fucking moron. Like seriously, those people need to be put in jail. Like jail for life. Jail for life, right? Of course it's jail for life. Because creation is for life. Alright. Jail for life is way too cheap. Actually it should be jail for all eternity. But since they don't live forever, so just jail for life seize all assets.
Like, how many of you guys had a predisposition against a country?
By the way, because that one is actually treason, so yes, jail for life plus how do I say? Seize all asset by 100%.
Or for a country, or about a country, and then you spoke to a person from that country on the internet in one way or another, and that changed your predisposition. And whether that's let's say, like, and it's also not even just with countries, it's with types of people, right? So you know, like, I think there's a big one is that, like, think about how many people were raised in like kind of like more like racist families that played Xbox Live with people that were black or Mexican or you know, Asian or some other, you know, like Indian, and they're like, well, actually, like, no, these guys aren't like, they aren't like what you know, like my grandpa says. They're like, that's bullshit, right? And so like that definitely, that breaks down more barriers than anything I think ever has. And so that's really the big difference. They're actually just like us. Yeah, exactly, right? And so I think a great example of this is like in BS, right? Is so like this guy has a Steam account, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, he's not perfect, right? There's been things that, you know, I think everybody would say like they disagree with, maybe he's done, but in a general sense, you know that you have a common shared interest in culture. And I think the internet has allowed people to see that those differences are not as large as the media makes them out to be. And I think that having like that bridge allows you to communicate and interact with another person in good faith. And media is the worst. Yeah, exactly, right? For me, it was the opposite effect. Yeah, there's going to be negative reactions too. But like, I think that for me at least, right? Like, I've learned more about other cultures and other groups of people by talking to people that are part of those groups on the internet than I ever did in school. Because, I mean, the books are bullshit. Books are fake. News is fake. Media is fake. Politicians are fake. But you talk to a guy that lives there.
Well, he's right. So, literally, right? Anything in the books that's being sold in the store, right? Around like 95% of them to 98, I just say it. 98% are all fake. The content inside the book are fake as fuck. So it's like, well, you can treat it as a fiction, but aside from that, it's totally useless. Books are useless. Social media, just legacy media are useless. Just junk them away. And also, even for the media, like the critics from my previous stream, it's also like bullshit, junk them away. So it's just, well, that's the point anyway.
And you just ask them, like, so yeah, so like, what happens if like a woman goes out and she's not wearing that thing on her head? Well, they're just gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you, like, oh, so you guys have free healthcare. How does that work? They're just gonna say it, right? Without bullshit. And that, by the way, is so much more valuable and so much more important than anything else. And I think that's what's driven so much of these, because you were asking, the original question was like, why are younger generations not adopting these ancient conflicts? That's the reason. It's because they know somebody that lives there. They know somebody that, you know, has been part of that culture. And that has changed more than anything. And that's why I think the internet is such a great thing.
A fool would think otherwise. In recent years, far too many American presidents have been afflicted with the notion
This is very naive. Okay. Okay, sure.
that it's our job to look into the souls of foreign leaders and use U.S. policy to dispense justice for their sins. They loved using our very powerful military, and now it's really the most powerful it's ever been. We just are getting a budget approved, $1 trillion, highest budget we've ever had in history for military, $1 trillion. And we're getting the greatest missiles, the greatest weapons. And, you know, I hate to do it, but you have to do it because we believe in peace through strength. You have to have the strength, otherwise bad things could happen. But hopefully we'll never have to use any of those weapons. Seems to be an awfully big waste of money if you're never going to use them, but hopefully we'll never have to use them because the destructive power of some of those weapons are like nobody's seen before.
That's true.
I believe it is God's job to sit in judgment, my job to defend America, and to promote the fundamental interest of stability, prosperity, and peace. That's what I really want to do. I will never hesitate to wield American power if it's necessary to defend the United States or to help defend our allies.
Man.
And there will be no mercy for any foe who tries to do us or them harm. We will have no mercy. They understand that.
Oh,
That's
shit.
why I've been
We got you on
pretty
it,
lucky.
yeah.
A lot of people think, you know, he's looking to fight. He's
So
looking
Israel's
to
no
fight, and
longer
things
allied?
get settled. It's an amazing thing when they really think you
Just
mean
the way
it.
it is.
But we do. We have the greatest military, the strongest military, stronger than any. Nobody's even close. We have the best weapons in the world, but we don't want to use them. If you threaten America or our partners, however, then you'll be faced with overwhelming strength and devastating force. We have things that you don't even know about, you don't hear about, and if you did, you'd say, wow. In recent weeks following repeated attacks on American ships and freedom, things that you don't even know about, you don't hear about, and if you did, you'd say, wow.
Well, yes, I mean, if there's no need to use a weapon, right? It's best not to use it, but if somehow I have to use it, well, I guess that's end of the story for them.
Wow.
In recent weeks following repeated
That's
attacks
crazy.
on American ships and freedom of navigation in the Red Sea, the United States military launched more than 1,100 strikes on the Houthis in Yemen.
Uh-oh.
As a result, the Houthis agreed to stop. They said, we don't want this anymore. It's the first time you've heard that from them, too. They're tough. They're fighters. But just days
Yeah.
ago, we were
I
asked
mean,
to
like, you gotta have some balls to go up against, like, you going up against satellites, nuclear bombs, aircraft carriers, and all you have is a flying lawnmower and an AK-47? Man. Like, that, you got some balls to do that shit, yeah. Balls or lack of brains, who knows?
cease targeting commercial. They were not going to be targeting commercial ships in any way, shape, or form, anything American.
Minus 2 jets, though? Yeah, we lost 2 jets. And my understanding is that the reason why we lost those jets is because the guys that were running them were fucking morons. Like, one jet just, like, fell off the aircraft carrier or something like that, right? Just fell off?
Yeah, seriously, why the hell did you fell off the aircraft carrier? Is it okay? Let's say maybe during landing, but even during landing, right? Didn't you already have your trainings? Just follow the protocol, like what?
Wow, oh, shit.
What during? Okay, let's say during landing you fell off the aircraft carrier. That is, oh the shit. But at least the aircraft that fell off the aircraft carrier, in a way you can still salvage the parts, so and we make a new one, I guess.
It's not funny. Shut up, it's my money. I guarantee I'm probably paying more tax money for these jets to go into the water. It's my right to laugh at this, okay?
And they were
It's
very
my
happy
money.
that
It's my money going in the
we
water.
stopped. But we had
Well, I guess it's true, I guess. Like,
52 days of thunder and lightning like they've never seen before. This was a swift, ferocious, decisive, and extremely successful use of military force. Not that we wanted to do it, but they were shooting down ships. They were shooting at you.
Yeah.
They were shooting at Saudi Arabia.
They're fucking assholes. They're fucking asshole terrorists. What do you mean?
Seen before. This was a swift, ferocious, decisive, and extremely successful use of military force. Not that we wanted to do it, but they were shooting down ships. They were shooting at you.
Yeah.
They were shooting at Saudi Arabia.
They're fucking assholes. They're fucking asshole terrorists. What do you mean? Of course we had to do it. Yeah.
I don't want them shooting at Saudi Arabia if that's okay. So we hit them hard. We got what we came for, and then we got out. Since January 20th, the U.S. military has terminated 83 terrorist leaders operating across Iraq, Syria, and Somalia, including ISIS's #2 global leader. You read about that just recently. With the help of Pakistan, we apprehended the ISIS terrorists responsible for the attack on 13 American service
Pakistan
members at Abiegate, that horrible, horrible disaster during the
This is getting confusing.
Afghanistan withdrawal. You know, that's another thing that we don't even think about so much
gave 'em
anymore.
out,
13
yeah.
died, but 42 were horribly wounded. But hundreds of people died overall, because I count the people on the other side. Hundreds of people just grossly incompetent. It's probably why Putin decided to go into Ukraine, something he never would have done if I were president. But we wouldn't have had the problems of October 7th if I were president. We wouldn't have had Ukraine, Russia if I were president.
Yeah.
See, you have mentioned already. That's the reason Putin go inside Ukraine. Why it have to be done is something that have to be done. There's no other choice. It have to be done.
We wouldn't have had Abiegate, because there wouldn't have been any reason we were getting out, but we were getting out with dignity and with strength and power.
Oh,
But the way they got out
Afghanistan.
was not good. I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And we've been working tirelessly to bring back all hostages held by Hamas. We brought back a lot already, but we're bringing back more. This weekend, we successfully negotiated the release of the last American hostage.
I wonder if he's going to mention that if it was without Israel.
Edan Alexander just came out a few hours ago, and we continue to work to get that war ended as
It's almost
quickly
over.
as possible. It's a horrible thing that's taking place.
They're
All
releasing
civilized
yesterday, yeah.
people must condemn the October 7th atrocities against Israel, which would never have happened again if you had probably a different president, but definitely if you
times.
had me as president. The people of Gaza
times.
deserve a much better future, but that will
Yeah.
or can not occur as long as their leaders choose to kidnap, torture, and target innocent men, women, and children for political ends. The way
You
those
hear Edan won't meet with Bibi? Remind me about that after I finish this. I really want to see that.
people are treated
I
in
have
Gaza.
to see
There's
that.
not a place in the world where people are treated so badly. It's horrible. After years of suffering, two of the nations most ravaged by terror are finally beginning to end their long nightmares under the new generation of leaders. In Lebanon, where a friend of mine has just become the ambassador. He's going to be great. I said, you know, that could be a very dangerous job. He said, I was born there. I'm Lebanese. I love that country. I said, but it's very dangerous. You know, this is a friend of mine from New York. I said, but it's very dangerous. Are you sure you want to do it? I never thought of him as being a warrior, but he is a warrior. He loves his
Here we
country.
go.
He said, if I'm injured or die, I'm dying for a country that I love. He grew up there. It's
Damn.
horrible what's happened in Lebanon, but you have a great ambassador.
I
can
don't know
tell
what's
you that.
happening
In
over there, but
Lebanon,
that's great.
which has been endlessly victimized
Yeah.
by Hezbollah and
The fuck?
their sponsor, Iran. A new president and prime minister have brought the first real chance in decades for a more productive partnership with the United States, and we're going to work with their new ambassador and everybody else, Marco, and we're going to see if we can really help them out and let them get over that very high grid that they're going to have to get over. My administration stands ready to help Lebanon create a future of economic development and peace with its neighbors. They have tremendous people in Lebanon. Doctors, lawyers, great professional people. I hear it so many times. Likewise in Syria, which has seen so much
is this gonna
misery
be
and
it?
death, there is a new government that will hopefully
Thanks for the 69 gifted subs, Ace. Thanks. So this could be it right here.
succeed in stabilizing the country and keeping peace. That's what we want to see in Syria. They've had their share of travesty, war, killing, many years. That's why my administration
Here it is.
has already taken the first steps toward restoring normal relations between the United States and Syria
Wow.
for the first time in more than a decade.
Here it is.
And I'm very pleased to announce that Secretary Marco Rubio will be meeting with the new Syrian foreign minister in Turkey later this week. And very importantly, after discussing the situation in Syria with the Crown Prince, your Crown Prince,
Oh, here it comes.
and also with President Erdogan of Turkey, who called me the other day and asked for a very similar thing, among others, and friends of mine, people that I have a lot of respect for in the Middle East, I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness.
Man. Man. This is after, by the way, the Prime Minister of Syria, or the new guy in charge, said that he wanted to build a Trump Tower in Damascus. Remember what I was saying before about how they're talking to each other? They're acting like this to each other, like they already know that things are going to be fine. Like, I think they've made some pretty interesting backroom deals that we're going to be finding out about in the next 2 years.
No,
Yeah, they're giving each other
probably.
$400 million jets, like making $1 trillion investments in each other, like building towers. Like, it's a lot. Yeah, the ISIS commander? Yeah. Ex-ISIS commander? Yeah. Not anymore.
Whoa. Whoa. This is great.
What, backfires for everyone? I don't think it will.
Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince. The
All right.
sanctions were brutal and crippling and served as an important, really an important function,
Oh,
nevertheless, at the time. But now it's their time to shine. It's their time to shine. We're taking them all
Yep.
off, and they're going to have, I think they're going to have, based on the people and the spirit and everything else that I'm hearing about. So I say good luck, Syria. Show us something very special like they've done, frankly, in Saudi Arabia. Okay, they're going to show us something special. Very good people. Everywhere we can, my administration is pursuing peaceful engagement, offering a strong and steady hand of friendship to all that will take it in good faith. Together, we
In
have
good
made
faith.
unprecedented strides and tremendous progress, and we're still just at the dawn of the bright new day that awaits for the people of the Middle East, the great, great people of the Middle East. If the responsible nations of this region seize this moment, put aside your differences and focus on the interests that unite you, then all of humanity will soon be amazed at what they will see right here in this geographic center of the world. It really is. It's like a center of the world, and the
Like on the
spiritual
globe, yeah,
heart
usually
of
it's in
its
the middle. That's
greatest
true.
faiths.
Yeah.
For the first time in 1,000 years, the world will look at this region not as a place of turmoil and strife and war and death,
It's the middle.
but
Yeah,
as a land of
that's-
opportunity and hope, just
Yeah,
like you've done right
that's a
here,
good
a
point.
cultural and commercial
Never thought about that
crossroads
name.
of the planet. Security and stability will lift millions into lives of safety and success, and the nations of this region will be free to realize your highest destinies, honor your proud histories, harness amazing new opportunities, and bring incredible glory to Almighty God. People will come from all over the globe to be inspired by the cities you build, the businesses you create, the technologies you invent, and the beauty, talent, and potential you unleash right in the hearts of your citizens. Each of you will be able to take tremendous pride in the legacy you will leave
Man.
to your children, because you will have given them the ultimate blessings of prosperity and peace. So important. In the United States, we've launched the golden age of America. It's the golden age. We see it. We see it with all that money, trillions and trillions and dollars pouring in, hundreds of thousands of jobs coming in with it.
It's a world buff.
And with
Yeah.
the help of the people of the Middle East, the people in this room, partners throughout the region, the golden age of the Middle East can proceed right alongside of us. We will work together. We will be together. We will succeed together. We will win together. And we will always be friends.
Man.
Thank you.
This is
So,
great.
Mohammed, I want to thank you again very much for having me. And as a representative of what I think is the greatest nation in the world, we are with you all the way, and you have a tremendous future. Thank you very much. And please pay my respects to your father. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No. 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 Oh my God.
Man.
Absolute fucking cinema.
Please pay my respects to your father. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No. No.
Oh, whoa.
Oh my God.
This is,
Absolute fucking cinema.
and there you have. And there you have it. It's really holy. Oh man, this is just the most incredible. It's the most incredible things to have. Holy yeah. Holy moly. The holy heaven or holy whatsoever, I'm not sure whatever holy, but this is just holy cow. This is damn hell great. I mean, it's greater than great, probably. Don't you think so? Man, this is ouch. Damn great. Oh man, I didn't realize that it's actually like 2 hours. Well, anyway,
President Trump.
this is the end of the stream, and you know, like, end of the stream, and I hope that you enjoy the entire stream if you are watching, and if you like the content, right, or for example, if you like to speak with Runa from time to time, do join my X account, Runa X account, and also on my Twitch. Make sure to click subscribe on YouTube, or give the video a like if you think it's nice, but I don't think it's nice, so but I think it's up to your opinions. So, and comment below, let me know how I may improve, and I'll see you again next time. Okay, so I'll be moving on to my next stream, which is going to be streaming a Dark Soul gameplay on Twitch. So if you like, you could drop by and say hi and click the follow button if you actually think it did be worthwhile. Maybe to let me know. I did be happy to have you around. So I mean, damn man, it's just but I really have to work on my life. I mean, yes, I will work on my life, and by this year I need to have some kind of advancement, evolution. I need to get out of my current loop because of my whatever things it is. I need it. Runas need it. So any wish will be much welcome. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again on my next stream or on Twitch maybe, or on my X account. I don't really use Discord yet, but because of security reasons, so yeah, I'll see you again. Bye bye. Yeah, bye bye. さよならさよならじゃないけど。また今度ね。until next time. Okay.